Hi, it's New Year's Eve, 2018. 2019 is tomorrow. I'm going to change the spark plugs in this 2006 Corolla, and we have to take off this cover, 4 spark plugs underneath. Fairly simple job. I watch about 6 or 7 videos, and then I glean the best information from all of them, and then do the job. So this is just one more Corolla spark plug change. Pretty simple, but I had to go down and get a spark plug socket, from Canadian Tire. It's got a little rubber thing on the inside so it holds the spark plug as you're turning it by hand to get it started. Other videos suggested a piece of 3/8, I think it's brake line, 3/8 ID brake line that goes over the end of the spark plug so that you can feel the thread going in so you don't cross thread it. But this should do the job because I haven't got, I'm just taking the end out of it, there we go. So now I got the spark plug socket ready to go, 3/8 drive, 5/8 socket, and the spark plug will fit very nicely. Where are you at? There we are. Spark plug will fit in there, and then it goes right into there with that rubber. And now you can turn it. You can see the quality of the iridium spark plug. Lots of material up there. It's all brand new, of course. We will be putting some copper anti-seize on these threads. You can see they're pretty fine threads, and they've got a little washer in there, so don't lose that when you take them out of the box. So that's what we're going to do. So the next thing to do is to take the cover off of this, and this is a 3/8 drive. I've got a 3/8 drive and a long socket. For now, I'm going to put a 10mm on the end, and we'll see if we can get this started. I'm a novice, so I've never done this one before. Let's see what happens. There we go. You got 1 bolt, 2 bolts, and then a couple of what look like plastic push-ins. We'll find out what those are in a moment. Let's get this out first. There we go. It's just a dome nut by the look of it. See a little dome nut there? Looks like that's what it is. Not really a bolt. That's just my trouble light is in the way. May have to move that. I want you to be able to see it a little bit. And this is where a little magnet would come in handy, which I did not buy. I picked it up, put it back down again. There it is. Come on there, domey nut. Come on, come on. You can leave it in the cover and pull it out with the cover. Let's see what these things are. These look like just pull-outs, I think. This one's missing. So what is this? It looks like it just pops out. Of course it's going to give me trouble, so let's see if we can use a screwdriver on it. Let's see if it'll just pop out. Yeah, it pops out. There we go. It's a little pop-out thing. Can you see that? It's a little pop-out piece. The one on the other side's missing, so easy peasy. And now we can take this cover off. There we go. And you can see there's the other dome nut. I'll get it out. Put that cover away someplace. It's raining right now. Put that out there. Okay. So now what you got is the 4 coils and the connections to the coils. And you got number 10, number 10, number 10, 4 number 10s. And then down inside, for this bracket here, this bracket has to come off because if you count these 1, 2, 3, 4, that may not be the actual sequence of the cylinders, but I'm going to count them as from left to right, 1, 2, 3, 4. Number 3 gets hung up on this. I've seen it in a couple of videos. So what ends up happening, you have to take this bracket out that holds the wiring harness. So I'm just going to do that right away. See if I can move this light so it's not on my, maybe that's better. Maybe that'll give you a better picture. No? guess not. Huh. Alright, well. Sorry about this. Thought we had it covered, but well, back where we were. Yeah, we'll put this up and over here. Oops. I just jostle you guys? I did a little bit, didn't I? Okay, so that's where we are. We can zoom in a little bit on that. There we go. Okay. So, again, number 10s. I'm going to take off the extension so it's easier to work with. Should be number 10, and it is. Why is this doing that? That's better. I'll put my light on. Maybe that'll give you a little more light on the subject. Get these loose. Loose, loose, loose. These are not tight, so they're very easy to take off, very easy to put back on again. That there. So these are the coils for the spark plugs. We'll take out these nuts, bolts I should say, number 10s. Again, I've never done this before, so just feeling adventurous. La, 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 la. Need some music to go along with this, I guess. Some videos I hear music in the background and it's just annoying. Sometimes it's just annoying. So I didn't put the radio on. Okay, so I'm going to disconnect this by pushing this down. Pushing this clip down and wiggling it off. There we go. See that clip right there? Push that clip down. And pull her off. Be careful not to do anything damage to the wires. But they've been in there a long time, so don't work them off too easy. We'll move on to the next one. How about that? They're all kind of stiff, but there's not much room here either. Guess they go on pretty tight. I'm going to use a little screwdriver. Just a little bit of help to get these off. Yeah, that helps. Just don't pry that up and break the piece off. But it does help to release that little lock. Right there. One more. There we go. Okay, so we got our spark plug wiring off. It's self-evident. They're all located there. You can't get them wrong. But these coils now are going to come out as soon as I remove that number 10 and that number 10. You see it right down in there, and that one right over there. That holds that bracket in. That needs to come out too. Here's my socket. Take this guy out. Hope you can see that. I know the camera's on a bit of an angle, but this is my first try at this, and I just wanted to get the job done. You can see it's an odd looking thing. It looks like a whole thing came out, but probably just the cap was supposed to come off. But that's okay. It'll go back in the same way. Okay, this one comes out. So take off the socket and then just take them out that way. Another way to do it. So there you go, number 10. See that? And now we can take the actual coils out. And I suggest you put the coils in line so you can have a look at them. If there's any fouling on the end, anything that looks unusual, then you'll be able to see it. So here's the first coil. Just pops out. There it is. Looks pretty good, doesn't look foul or bad. I'm going to put that right there, and this one pops out, just like that. Simple, simple. I see some oil in there. Maybe good, maybe not good. I don't know what it means. In there. It's not a lot of room. Maybe it's supposed to be that way, but I don't know. Hoping it's okay. Got some oil on that one too. So, take a paper towel, wipe that off. But it could be I got an oil leak somewhere in there. Car runs okay, so I'm not going to be too concerned about it. That one goes there. That one goes there. That one's there. That one's there. Okay. So down inside there, you're going to have your spark plugs. Let's see if I can't get them out. First time. That would be sweet. Okay, just putting the socket set together. I'm going to put the spark plug socket on. And I'm going to reach down in here until I feel I got a hold of it. There it is. And I'm going to make this it's tight. Very tight. So whoever put them in did not put any grease on them. Feels like it's coming out. I hope it's not broken or anything. Be very gentle. You can break the porcelain on the old spark plugs, and then you may have a big problem trying to get it out. I'll be putting anti-seize on the new ones. That should get them out nicely. Almost there. And there it is. And doesn't look too bad. You can see that. It's not terrible bad compared to a new one. If you compare the old one on the left with the new one, you can see it's not a big difference, but it's the gap you're looking for between the point and the spark plug, and it's not terrible bad actually, but that's okay. We're going to put new. Okay, so that's our first one. I'm going to put it to the left. Let's get the other ones out. Let's get this one out now. Nice and gentle. You don't want to break them. Get a better purchase. Sorry I bumped you there. I don't like it much, but oh yeah. Come on, baby. Don't give me a hard time. That's coming out now. There's a rubber gasket right here. If you can see that. They look okay and they're all in place, so I'm not concerned with the seal of the coil. But make sure if it falls off when you're taking out the coil, make sure that you don't lose that rubber. You'll need it to seal the coil back in. I'm going to take that off and just do this by hand. Just like that. This is a spark plug socket. So what happens is inside there's a rubber, and the rubber ring, O-ring, kind of gasket, kind of washer, holds the plug. And there we are. And that one's not too bad either. You might see that. Doesn't look too bad, so that's a good indication that the car is not doing badly. Let's get the third one out of here. Nice and easy. There we go. Don't rush it. Take your time, because one mistake can be fatal. I'm up against the front of the car right now, so it feels like my knees are kind of locked out, so be careful about your knees. Give them a little bend, maybe open them up a little bit. So you're not putting stress on your knees while you're doing this. What I found yesterday when I was doing the front brakes is you can't muscle this stuff, and you can't sacrifice your body. You got to make sure that you're using the tools, right tool for the right job, not trying to muscle things. If you need more torque on a wrench, put a breaker bar on it, put an extension on it, so you don't muscle it with your body. That just makes you sore after you've done the job. That's not good. There are tools for all these things. It may cost you a little bit more, but you'll live to do the next job the next day. There's the third one. Not too bad. Doesn't look fouled. Looks pretty good. So they're all kind of looking like this, which is not bad at all. Let's see if I put my hand behind it. Pretty tough to do. You can see it's not too bad. So that's a good sign. The engine's been running okay. This is also just an exercise for me to learn how to do things. That's number 3. This is number 4. So lock it down. This one's coming out a little easier. So that's nice. Thank you very much. I'll take this socket off, put it here, and take that out by hand. So this might not make a big difference in the engine since the plugs aren't terrible worn, but this car's got 250-odd thousand kilometers on it. I'm up here in Toronto in Canada. So I bought this used about 8 years ago, maybe 10. It's 2006. Got it from a rental car company, and they get rid of their fleet from time to time. And this was the kind of car that we kind of wanted because it was economical. And there's the fourth one. Again, not too bad. Not too bad. Don't see any fouling on it. So I think it's a good indication that all 4 cylinders are working nicely. So now what we have to do, we have to put the new one in. It's already spaced for you. It's already gapped for you. And we're going to put some anti-seize on there. I'm going to take off these black gloves so I can feel this better. Just putting this back in the hole. You don't want to cross thread this. They usually recommend a 3/8 brake line hose, but I don't have any of that. Thought I did, but I don't. This is a copper anti-seize. I think you can get it pretty much at any place that sells parts for cars. There's also a gray anti-seize, but it's a little thicker. This is more syrupy, a little more gooey, and that was what was recommended on the other videos, so you can see that. Goopy stuff. So I'm just going to put a little bit on here, like that, and then run it down with my finger across all the threads, like that. That's good. Now if I put that spark plug in, I should be able to nice and gently feel it thread its way in there. Yeah, that feels good. this locker down. Not too hard, just a little bit. Right there is good. Okay, that's nice. Number 1 is done. Move on to number 2. So we put the spark plug in, spark plug socket. You put a little bit of anti-seize on that plug and then run it around with your finger. It gets all the way around all the thread. It does not get in where the spark plug actually is. Keep it out of there. Now we're going to again run this in by hand into number 2. Gently, gently, until it starts to start. Feels good. Keeping the socket extension straight up and down in the hole. I'm not feeling any resistance, just feeling it turning. So that's a good sign. I think that's working nicely. Feels like it's tight. Put the socket, ratchet on. Tighten it up a little bit, gently, gently, until it gets tight, and then another quarter turn. So it's tight there. Another quarter turn to there, and that's enough. Number 2 done. Number 3. This is goopy stuff, this anti-seize, but it'll make taking it out next time, if I ever have to be a next time, if there ever was a next time. But this is probably, spark plugs last a long time now because of the computer-controlled ignition system, computer-controlled fuel systems. It's not like the old days, carbureted. Spark plugs last a long, long time, and they make them much, much better than they ever did. So pretty much this is the last set of spark plugs for this car. But I'm having fun just kind of monkeying with it. I'm going to take that off. So I'm right straight up and down in the socket. Nice easy turns, easy, easy. Just get it started. The anti-seize is helping to make that a nice smooth thread. That's working beautifully. I checked the codes on the car. There are no codes right now, so we're going to see it when I'm done, if I've said any, but I don't believe so. So you just keep going a little bit, gently, gently. It's not snug yet. Now it's snug, so almost another quarter turn. That's enough. It doesn't have to be super tight. Last plug. Almost done. Little anti-seize on here. We'll put it back together. Probably one of the simplest jobs I've had to do so far. I've done the brakes on, I got a Cavalier, so I've done the brakes on the Cavalier, and now I've done the brakes on this Corolla, and I just bought the drum brakes, shoes, and hardware for the Cavalier and the Corolla, because I don't think they've ever been done. And it's good to experiment anyway. I'm having fun with this stuff. Taking the socket off, the ratchet off, so I can feel. Again, some people use a 3/8 hose, which makes it easier, but I can feel this. I can't feel any cross threading, and it's going in smoothly with the anti-seize. So I think it's fine. But it's that special socket, spark plug socket with the rubber on the inside. I went to Canadian Tire and bought it, and I just asked the guy in the tools department, not the auto department, because they're not so helpful. There's not many guys over there that can know what they're doing. But the tool guy was pretty good. So this is just threading out a little bit. Now it's tight, and now another 30 degrees, approximately. I'm making that up, but nice and tight. That's not going to come out. Spark plugs are all in. Hallelujah. That is gorgeous. That went like clockwork. Now, the coils go back in. I kept them in order just for fun, so I'm going to put them back in order as well. That's one. Going to get the wire out of the way. There we go. That's nice. We'll get number two. Down in place, right there. Get number three, what I'm calling number three again. Don't know if it actually is left to right cylinder 1, 2, 3, 4, but for our purposes we don't need to know what the firing sequence is. And that one goes in. And now we can put that nut back there and that nut back in. So that was this one. It's going to go back over here with the number 10. Finger tight it and then I'll tighten it up. Not hard, it's a plastic piece, so you do not need to over tighten this. There's no requirement to make it super tight. Anyone wants to get on all by itself, wants to get cooking again. Okay, that one goes down. Very nice. Take our number 10 socket. Sorry, 10 millimeter socket, what I mean. Just until it's tight. That's nice right there. That one. Nice. Let's get these four guys in. And then we'll put the wires back. So there's one. Beauty. I'm going to put it on with the socket because it's a little easier to spin the socket. Like that. So what this is going to do is it's going to compress that big round washer I showed you earlier at the top of the coil, so nothing can get down inside that cylinder. One of the videos recommended some dielectric grease on the bottom of the coil. I wasn't sure if I had the right one. I got brake grease, which I think is dielectric, but I wasn't sure, so the other videos did not have it, so I wasn't going to bother about it too much. I don't think it's critical in any way. So again, this just gets snugged down. That's enough. That's enough. That's enough. And that's enough. Wires go back on. There's one, clips on. You got to hear the click. That means it's locked in position. Click. Click. And click. Everything seems solid. Everything's where it's supposed to be. To get all the stuff off your engine. If you've had tools on the engine, double check that nothing's left there. We could get caught anywhere. I think we're all in place. Everything's good. That's the two studs. That's the holes for the little snap-ins. So let's start her up and see what happens. Well, there you have it. I think that's nice. I think it sounds smoother. I like it very much. So I'm going to put this back on top. Lines up with that hole and that hole. Put on the little dome nuts that were on there before. And we're pretty much done. That was pretty easy. I'm an electrician, by the way, so I have an attitude that, yeah, you can probably fix it. But I've never done cars before, so I'm just learning how to do that. I'm almost 70, but I'm still learning stuff, so feels good. Feels really good. I'm going to put this little plastic piece back in, even though it doesn't do a hell of a lot, but you don't want things rattling around on you, so I'm hoping it actually goes down and kind of twists. So that's nice. The other one's missing, but I don't care. Nice. I think we're done. Thanks very much for watching. Hope you learned something. Take care of yourself. Bye-bye.